Has AI affected you in your art business? Because it did for me. From early to mid 2023, all my commissions had dried up. I was recovering from an injury, and the rise of AI had taken the clients that I had left. Have you had a similar story happen to you? Does this have to be the end of your art career? Should you be afraid? Spoiler, the answer is no. But let's talk about it. So have you seen artists giving up or even switching to AI themselves? I've seen a lot of artists announce on social media that they would no longer be sharing their art online. I've even seen people say, what's the point of making art when they can just use AI instead? Once I had someone tell me that my art wasn't as good as AI, and they were surprised I even got commissions at all still. Have you noticed the tagline for AI is adapt or die? All of their selling points seem to be scare tactics. You know who else uses scare tactics? Bullies. And I decided I don't want to give in to scare tactics. I don't want to give in to bullies. And neither do you. You don't have to let AI scare you. So what can you do to overcome AI panic? For me, the day I saw one of my favorite artists break down crying in a video about how AI had affected her, that I made up my mind that I'm going to be better than AI. And to do that, I had to work out how I was going to do that. So to start with, I decided what about my art I didn't like and what I was going to improve. For example, my anatomy. Have you noticed that AI images are kind of known to be full of anatomical mistakes? Like hands. Oh my goodness, the hands. There's that signature AI art style. There's no emotion, there's no personality, there's lots of pretty girls with a blank expression, lots of nonsensical landscapes. That's where I decided to start with. I looked at these things and I decided, how can I make my art be better than that? Many AI users argue they don't have the time or the money or even the desire to learn to draw. But you don't need a ton of money and time to learn. There are so many free resources online by other artists that will teach you just about anything you want to know. It's as simple as going into Google and typing anatomy tutorial, how to cell shade, how to draw wings. Anything you need to know, there are going to be free resources for it, and they're going to teach you to do it better than an AI can. But what if you want to take your artistic learning a step further? Let me tell you what I did. But first, I have a confession. I've never been to art school. I went as far as high school art class. What I did was I joined an art mentorship. I would say this has provided me the biggest improvement in my art. When I showed my mentor this video script, he would joke that it was the best decision I ever made in my life, but to be honest, it kind of was. In the 6 months I've taken part in this art mentorship, my art's improved more than it had in the previous 2 or 3 years. It's given me the chance to focus on what I wanted to learn, starting with magic effects, my coloring, my character designs. It's given me the confidence to start working on my own comic, and now I'm even making YouTube videos, which a year ago was absolutely not what I thought I would ever be doing. It's helped me build my own confidence, which is something that AI preys upon. This goes back to the scare tactics I mentioned. They want you to worry that you'll be left behind. While I can only speak to my own experience, it might be worth your time to check out mentorships online. You get to learn from someone one-on-one, or if that doesn't work for you, you can find some courses online that they're going to be cheaper than going to college. Ultimately, by deciding to overcome AI, it's made me a better and more confident artist and person in general. Now, speaking of confidence, improving your artistic skills isn't the only important part of building yourself up. As artists, I think many of you are well aware how easy it is to forget about our physical health when we get into working on a project for hours on end. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I had to heal from a hand injury that took over 6 months and several very painful procedures, and it's still not even fully healed. I have to make sure that I take regular breaks and not overdo it, otherwise I'm gonna have more painful procedures. Trust me, you really don't want that. But aside from your physical health, your mental health is also very important. You need to make time to take rests and engage in other activities. Go out and take a walk, clean your house, talk to your friends, play a game, make your space that you work in somewhere that's pleasant to be in. It's all very small things, but it can make a big difference to your mindset. If you associate the process of making art with negative feelings, then making art is going to give you negative feelings. Making art should be something you enjoy, and that's something that AI just can't replicate. And that brings me to my final and maybe the most important point here. I still see other amazing artists giving their time and skills away in an attempt to compete with AI. They'll offer themselves as a quote-unquote art slave, where they promise to make several high-quality art pieces for just minuscule amounts. Artists, please don't undervalue yourself. You're human, and that's something AI can't replace. So have you felt intimidated by AI generators recently? Maybe you found ways to overcome it, or maybe it never bothered you in the first place. Let me know down in the comments how you felt. Now, if you'd like to know how creating art can be good for you, check out my video here.